Good morning once again to everyone. Distinguished guests, representatives of government, members of the diplomatic community, business leaders, sustainability practitioners, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the United Nations Global Compact Network Nigeria's private sector dialogue on business and human rights. Across global markets, investors, regulators, consumers, and business partners increasingly expect companies not only to create economic value, but also to demonstrate accountability, transparency, and respect for human rights throughout their operations and value chains. So today's dialogue invites us to explore a simple but powerful idea that respect for human rights is no longer separate from business success. Increasingly, it is one of its very strong foundations. So we're discussing the double bottom line, as we always do. We are also gathered to celebrate the successful completion of the 2026 Business and Human Rights Accelerator Program in Nigeria and to recognize the commitment demonstrated by participating companies throughout this journey. To formally welcome us and set the tone for today's program, please join me in welcoming Ms. Naomi Nwokolo, the Executive Director and Chief Executive Officer of the United Nations Global Compact Network Nigeria. Please let's have her on the screen.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. Good morning, our distinguished guests, Board Chair of the UN Global Compact Network Nigeria, partners, members of the business community. Can you hear me? Seems like I'm echoing.
Hello.
Yes,
We can hear you loud and clear. Please go on.
sincerely thank our Danish partners and representatives for their continued support and engagement. Your partnership has been valuable in strengthening this work and deepening the conversation on responsible business conduct, human rights due diligence, and sustainable market access. Across the world, expectations of business are changing. Investors are looking beyond financial performance to understand how companies manage social and governance risk. Workers increasingly want to be part of organizations that reflect these values. Consumers, regulators, partners, and communities are also asking for greater transparency, accountability, and responsible conduct. This means that business and human rights can no longer be treated as a side conversation. It must become part of how companies think, plan, govern, and grow. At the United Nations Global Compact Network Nigeria, our commitment to this agenda is firmly rooted in our 10 principles, particularly principles 1 and 2, which call on business to support and respect internationally proclaimed human rights and ensure that they are not complicit in human rights abuses of any form. These principles remind us that businesses do not operate in isolation. Every decision, from how workers are treated to how suppliers are engaged, how communities are consulted, and how customers are served, has the potential to impact people. The Business and Human Rights Accelerator was designed to help companies move from awareness to action, to strengthen internal systems, and embed respect for human rights into governance structures and day-to-day operations. What makes today's conversation particularly important is its focus on accountability, which is built when commitments are translated into clear processes, responsible decisions, and visible action. It is built when stakeholders can see and experience that the company takes its responsibilities very seriously. As we close this phase of the accelerator, I encourage all our participating companies to see this not as the end of the journey, but actually as the beginning of deeper action. The real value of this program will be seen in what happens after today. The policies that have been strengthened, the risks identified, the conversations started internally, and the systems improved, and importantly, the decisions that will be made differently. Once again, I congratulate all our participating companies. I thank our Danish partners again, the National Human Rights Commission, our speakers, our facilitators, and every organization represented here today for your leadership and commitment. And I look forward to a very rich, honest, and practical conversation. Thank you very much.